Dean, still a very active scene here on Sarah E. Lane in Montrose, and the Colorado Bureau of Investigation actually just got here a few moments ago. But several windows broken out and a garage door taken off a home after a SWAT team got involved this morning. This parking lot was full of law enforcement earlier today after calls came in about a man possibly armed with a gun and knives inside the facility. A terrifying situation on this stretch of Highway 50 this summer. A driver seemingly coming out of nowhere and shooting at other vehicles. Our top story tonight, the Rio Blanco County Sheriff's Office says 2 people are dead after a cabin caught fire.
You can.
All right, fine, I'll give it a shot.
All right. All right, here he goes. Yeah!
An update to a story we told you last night. A driver has been identified after a shots fired call and pursuit Friday night. Here in Montrose tonight at Main and Townsend, and as you can see behind me, a decent group of protesters has already gathered ahead of their 6 o'clock meeting. This is actually the second protest in Montrose in the last 5 days. Brad, I'm thinking about going to the store and buying one of those inflatable kiddie pools to sit in because it's been so hot.
Might not be a bad idea.
Some of those softball scores looking like football scores though. I mean, my goodness, talk about the offense.
They are talented.
Grace, I'm glad to hear you guys are warm inside the studio because out here it's about 27 degrees. We've been out here a couple minutes now out in front of Walmart. But did I hear you right that my freezer might be warmer than it's going to be out tomorrow?
Oh yeah, you'll have to open your freezer door just to warm
so let
your
the
house.
heat waft it.
The question still remains, what's going to happen to this pool here behind me? Officials say it's going to take a team effort to keep it open. Security video shows the moment a home explodes into flames in Mac.
Early in the morning, I was in the living room drinking coffee. I heard this loud explosion.
Benny Wilson lives nearby. He and his sons ran to see what happened.
It's exploded. I mean, where we entered, there was no wall, but I went into the kitchen.
When they got there,
I heard this lady yell that there's people inside that house.
they bolted into action.
We found an elderly lady in the kitchen, laid under a bunch of rubble.
Running into the burning house.
Flames, smoke all around me, and yeah, it was kind of nerve-wracking to watch my 2 sons run into them flames.
I was the first one in there. The initial explosion happened in the kitchen, but I had to go in past the living room and into the hallway.
After Brian and his dad helped the woman on the floor, he went looking for others.
And I asked her, I said, is there anybody else in the house? And all she said was Leroy.
Risking his own life
He took 1 step and kind of fell into my arms.
to help someone else.
I went back inside to help my father pull the lady out of the house.
And with hardly any time to spare,
I did see the flames around me. I did see the roof caving in.
2 people's lives were saved.
When I found him, the only thought that ran through my head then was either I'm going to get you out of here or we're both going to go up. Because I wasn't going to leave this man alone by himself in there.
What did you do with it?
Hawaii native Kahale Reese suffered a stroke in 2014.
Yeah.
But that didn't stop him from keeping his sense of humor.
One hand, but
It also didn't stop him from putting his other arm to good use.
He got out in his shed and decided that he was going to start building things.
At first, he started small,
The first thing I think he built was this little tiny stool.
but then he went bigger.
After that, I think he made a little bench.
The Reeses keep positive attitudes, but the stroke blindsided the whole family.
My husband got up and decided to go water the flowers just to move around a little bit.
One of the couple's daughters knew something was wrong.
She came inside about 5 minutes later and said, "Hey, something's wrong with Dad, he's not responding."
The stroke took a big part of his brain.
He had to relearn everything he's learned to this point.
He used to be right-handed and now uses his left. Building some pretty top-notch furniture, which the Reeses sell online.
It also helps us to afford things for our kids that we might not otherwise get to afford.
But even though the stroke changed his body,
It didn't alter his ability to be a great husband.
the real Kahale is still all there.
It didn't alter his ability to be a father. And really, that's the most important thing.
I'm a concealed carry holder and have been for probably almost a decade now.
For Kenny Easton,
Yes, I'm a missionary.
violence is not in his nature, but on December 27th, he was prepared to take drastic measures when he saw someone's footprints leading to his downstairs window.
I let the dogs out into the house and they ran upstairs, and I figured if someone was in there, they would go find them.
He followed his dogs inside, and after searching the house, sure enough,
I peeked around the corner, and that's when I saw a young guy, mid-20s, early 20s, pointing a gun at me.
and with a leap of faith,
I came in the room loud with my gun in front of me and told him to put the gun on the bed.
The burglar didn't shoot and immediately gave up his weapon when Kenny drew on him.
The gun in his face made him throw the gun on the bed without hesitation, which is good because had he hesitated, he probably would have been shot.
After that, the suspect tried to escape the cabin through the same bathroom window that he entered from, but Kenny stopped him in the snow until a deputy arrived.
One of the rooms had an AR-15 in it, which belonged to one of the neighbors down here.
But Kenny says his fear and anger turned to remorse.
If he would have knocked on my door, he would have got a meal and he would have got a bed to sleep in, and I would have put him in touch with the sheriff, the local sheriff, and let him work out his problems.
And he counts his blessings after the outcome.
God stayed his finger and didn't let him pull the trigger on me, so everything else I tried to keep in my control, but there's certain things you can't, so.
And Kenny told me the man that burglarized his home was taken to the Montrose County Jail. However, the case was handled by the Ouray County Sheriff's Office, and we are waiting to hear back on the name of the suspect. Gina Burney.
All right, thanks a lot, Jason. Police also tell us that suspect has likely burglarized a handful of other homes in the Montrose area.
For his reputation.